Just in a couple of minutes then, if someone was to say, I'm not going to go to your demonstration tomorrow because you're basically a fascist yourself, a kind of Nazi because Russia is like Hitler somehow, and we've got to defend Ukraine and plucky Zelensky and send him warplanes and jets and weapons and cluster bombs.
Yeah, what they're doing, so they're unwittingly using the people of Ukraine as cannon fodder in an economic proxy war. What we did was provoke this invasion, and the German chancellor just admitted that we provoked this invasion. In 2014, the United States overthrew the democratically elected government of Ukraine. Why did they do that? And then they had the Minsk agreement, which was a peace agreement. And what was that? That meant the government of the Ukraine would stop bombing the Russian-speaking Ukrainians in the Donbass, the eastern part of Ukraine. And the German chancellor just admitted the reason why they got that peace agreement was so that Ukraine would have enough time to build up their military. So when Ukraine actually did start bombing the Donbass again and provoke Russia's invasion to protect those people, that the Ukraine would have a more powerful military to fight. And this is, again, all about economics. The cat is out of the bag, but the people who say that I'm aiding Russia somehow, I've been propagandized. They don't know the history of what's happened. They don't know NATO is an offensive force. NATO provoked this invasion. Ukrainians, their own citizens, Ukraine government was killing and bombing them. People don't know this. They don't know the history because when the corporate media in the United States still tells the story of Ukraine, they start it from Putin's invasion. They don't know why Putin invaded. They don't know that the Ukrainian government was bombing those people for 8 straight years and slaughtering them. They don't know that they're in bed with Nazis, literal Nazis, which is why when Zelensky campaigned, he campaigned on bringing people together. He campaigned on peace. And then as soon as he got elected, he gets the threat from NATO and he gets a threat from the Nazis in Ukraine that if he does bring peace, they're going to kill him. And so that's why we're in this position we are in today. And people have no idea that that's what happened. So you can call me anything you want. There's only one way to end this war. Everyone knows that the Ukraine war is going to end with a negotiation. So we have to get people at the negotiating table right now. NATO doesn't want, Joe Biden doesn't want a negotiation. He wants to keep this going on. He wants to keep people being killed in Ukraine so we can bleed Russia economically. And that plan isn't working. What we're doing is Russia is now becoming closer and closer with China. And they're going to become the new center of economics in the world, the big economic force. And the petrodollar is going away, which means the American currency being the currency of the world is going away. It's a disaster for the West and NATO and for Europe, which is why I don't understand why the people won't wake up to this. But the reason why they won't wake up to this is because they don't get to see shows like this or hear voices like me. They only hear voices from the pro-war military-industrial complex bought media.
Petro Poroshenko will have a hard time winning back hearts and minds in this city. As the people of Donetsk sweep up the debris of their homes and livelihoods, they are hardened against a president they say is killing his own people. We are Ukrainian, but they kill us, this man says, so we probably need our own country, because these people in Kiev, they are not brothers for us. The shells hit these homes days ago, but the tears are still fresh.
27-го, 28-го, 29-го очень сильно. Фактически мы живем под подвалом.
We live on the ground. It was so hard for 2 weeks, especially for 27, 28, 29th. But only today it's quiet.
Извините, я пойду.
Sorry, I need to go.
2 people were killed outside this block of flats last Wednesday. One of them was a 50-year-old woman, the other a 34-year-old woman. Her husband, who won't talk to us, he says he's in shock, managed to make it down to the cellar with their little child, but she just didn't have the time. And this is a story that repeats itself over and over in dozens of apartment blocks with civilians being killed by the constant shelling around Donetsk. The city's trauma hospital is filled with a civilian wounded, shrapnel embedded in the flesh and bone of market sellers' legs, the broken limbs of pensioners far too old to run. There was one war, and this is the second war, this old lady tells me. I was born in 1940 in World War II, and I will probably die before this war is over. Valentina Popova in the next-door ward lost her leg and her arm to indiscriminate artillery shells. Switching to the Ukrainian language, she makes a heartrending plea to the president. We used to dance, sing, do everything in Ukrainian, she says.
Poroshenko,
Mr. Poroshenko, please listen to us. Why don't you understand your people? Be a man, be human. Please stop your aggression. Stop this war. But there is little sign of that. This once thriving city is now half empty. Its railways